This next one is just pointer finger around right there, and it's all around this cord. So you've got this little notch right here, and that's going to go right there. And again, just back, stay high. And then the next one is the foregrip. So it's middle finger, pointer finger right there. So again, the way I throw is just middle finger right there, pointer finger, and just supporting the javelin. So those are the three main ways to hold the jav. This next point I call it's called maintaining the tee. So the javelin it's all a linear event. So you're working down a line, here, boom. And so that's a big one, especially for high school kids, as you get into a lot of the shoulders dropping, and when you drop, it creates that pendulum effect. So the higher you can keep the javelin, the better you can get on that release angle. So boom, right there, and go right through the javelin. The other one is tip control and roll the wrist. So by tip control, I just mean, think of the tail high, and a good thing to think of is just by your eye. So you don't want the javelin out here, up here, almost think of a negative angle. So it's right here, boom, there's your position you want, right there. Tip control, just always think of, if there's like dirt on the javelin, you need to have it on your eye, looking forward. And then another really good one is think of, you have kids who are running like this, like, that, think of, have your wrist, roll your wrist. It prevents a lot of injury prevention to the shoulder, the elbow. You've got people who throw and they go, like that. Just roll that wrist and think of throwing through almost a circle in the sky. Just right here, boom, there. Head position and posture. I just prefer to, if you've got an imaginary thing out there or something, keep your eyes focused on the target, so you're not here, and you come in, boom, and you follow through like that. And then the posture, stay upright, nice and loose. Don't get hunched, don't get back. Just think of, staying nice and tall, like this. And then, long arm, don't short arm. Keep that arm as long as you can so you feel that block, just boom, right there. Let's see. Okay, so these are all playing at the same time. But, so it's kind of counterintuitive to say that the javelin is a throw, but it's more of actually a stretch. So when you see the javelin, you're throwing it, but what's really happening is you have this. It's all a stretch. You have this going first, and then this is back. So this is the action. Boom, this is the reaction. So what I'm just showing here is a simple block drill. So I'll show this right here. And I show this down a line because, most everyone has a track. So if you've got your line, stagger your feet and just work on staying closed, arm, and just boom, hit the block. Boom, hit the block. And it's just, feet are kind of heel toe, so you're not locking yourself off. And then right there. Just keep working on that. So you're gonna be right there, and that's your power position when you hit. You don't want to be forward, you don't want to be over, just want to be over that, nice and there. Then the other one in the purple is just, it's the rhythm of, you're running and, so it's a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and that's something you have to get ingrained when you're watching your kids. So you could turn your back and know if it's a good throw or not. It's not pop, 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 pop. It's 1, 2, 3. So this is the 1, this is the 2, 3. So you'll see a lot of kids when they're doing the drill, just say, okay, get a crossover, make it faster, and they'll go like that. It's like, that was faster, but be patient with the right. So you'll come in, you'll wait, and then you'll get the left down. And so you're actually traveling farther and giving yourself time to the left. So don't rush the left. Don't get that pullback action, because it will throw you forward. you want to give yourself time to be able to stay back on that block. And that's, let's see here. Hope I can play this one, because this is a really good drill. Right here. So this one right here, I like to do, it's just jumping into the sand for distance. I can play it again one more time. I would highly recommend doing this one. Whatever. Maybe it will. Okay. So that one was just, you're going into the sand, waiting. But also, remember when you're doing that one, don't turn it into a long jump. Don't go forward. Maintain that good posture right here. And so when you do actually go into the meet, you're just waiting. You're waiting with the right and turning it into a just long jump. Just wait and stay back. And so, some of the drills I like to do, are like this. You can do your regular crossovers. You can kind of do like a bound type thing. So stuff like that. So it's all like bouncy, quick, explosive. That's how you're trying to be when you're a or you're an athlete. So don't get sucked into just being a thrower, being an athlete. Blocking drills. So first off, the block, for people who don't know, is just that last. When you're coming in, boom, right there. So that's the block. And so some drills I like to do for that are same thing. You start like you're in the T, and you just work down. Just boom. Boom. Once you've got that, let's start rotating a little, You're right here. And in order to get like a little bit of layback, so by that I mean you're not here, your hips are a little bit back, sideways, and right there. And then once you've got that, make sure the leg is, almost locked out. Turn all the way. You can have the jab or not, and then just hit it. Just keep going. You do 10 reps or so. And if you want to, you can have a jab, but I wouldn't recommend doing a lot of like crossover. It's pretty hard on your leg. You can maintain it with just walking. So that's a good one. And the block is something that if you can't do the block for the javelin, it's just so many problems. If you can't block, you're usually forward. So, and by forward I just mean here. If you can hit a block, good things will happen. So you're back, you're here, you can come around, get your hips into it. When this happens, a lot of negative things will follow. So another thing with the crossover into sand, I like target practice too. So set up a cone, see if you can hit it. If you're losing distance on flight, which so many people are, I mean, the efficiency, you're losing so much efficiency just on, let's say, pulling down. So you're dropping the jab, pulling down. If you can keep that nice and high and just hit it through the jab, get the cleanest flight you can, that is huge. So don't lose distance on flight. Once you can get your flight, then let's move on. So, set up the cone, just for your picking. So warming up and see if you can hit it. If you're way over to the right, well, maybe I'm open. So I need to stay right here. Or maybe I'm pulling down, so I need to keep it right here and follow through. I'm dropping my jab. So that's a really good one. I'd highly recommend doing that. Towel pulls, I like those too. So I think they also have something called a jabby for this. So you've got a towel or like a rubber band type thing, and someone gives you resistance, and you're just here, and they're kind of pulling on you, so you can feel that inverted C. And right when you get here, they kind of give a little bit and just feel that. So that's something I think is important. Okay, so the next part, I talk about 1, 2, 3. So in this one, I was showing, there has to be a tempo and also an acceleration. So the fastest point, or one of the fastest points, has to be the end. You don't want to be someone who starts out or, work on do. So it's an acceleration. You want to increase. You don't want to start, extremely fast and then end slow. So make sure you're accelerating, moving into it. That's really important. And I actually got to go over to Germany last year and work with Thomas Roller. the gold medalist, and here's one of his drills he did. This is a really good one to add in. It's just that boom, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. And it's a good plyometrics drill, but it also teaches that rhythm of the javelin. And so, shorten your box up a little, but that's a really good one. And also, I showed one of him right here, throwing off grass. So you can see just nice rhythm, nice high jab. He hits a really good block. So I'll get into that later about the grass, but okay. So another thing I want to explain is that throwing, especially the javelin, involves so much other. It's kind of boring too for some people. So I think a fun thing to do is just mix it up, So let's do some plyos one day. Let's do, some med ball another. You can throw twice a week and get a lot done. Be super efficient with it. Let's throw off the grass, for target practice. Then let's throw harder off the runway. Do our med ball Monday, Wednesday. Do some plyos, but just the explosiveness you need in the jab, you'll lose sometimes if you're just pigeonholing yourself into just throwing. You need to be a well-rounded, athlete. So, let's see here. So I'll get more into the plyos and the hurdles and some other stuff, but the warm-up, I want to get into that too. So when I was at Workgate, and I didn't do much of like circuit training in the winter. I did a little bit. One of the biggest things that got me into shape, I did a 30-minute warm-up every day where I was just dripping sweat. And I was in good shape. And that is one of the biggest things you can do to avoid injury, to get really prepared for a good workout, is just put yourself through a great warm-up, whether it's doing high knees, burpees, different stuff that gets you in an overall great body shape. And so that really, as my junior and senior year, changed kind of the way I threw, and my fitness level went up, so my base was just huge. And so I think, don't underestimate that. Going over to Germany and talking to some different Finnish coaches and Finnish stories, is they put so much emphasis, and I'll say 30 minutes, they'll do an hour warm-up. So it's pretty important. I wouldn't do some kind of 5 or 10 minute warm-up, just because you need it, and you can get an actual workout with your warm-up. So, and if you want to talk more with me about it, I can. So, and here's just a little clip I put in of something we did in Germany. So it's different, and it's called slackline training. So it's made to build up the little muscles, and you're just, you're on the rope, you're doing that kind of stuff. So, people think, you just have to do squats, you just have to do this. Well, I mean, this builds up so many of those little muscles that you need for holding the block, for just running in general. So, and it's really good too for, if you can hold yourself on this big of a line, I mean, you become so aware of where you are. So it's a really good training tool. Just the left shoulder, when your left foot's on the ground, I think should be right there. And I mean, there's different variations of this, but then just kind of, when you start to throw, comes into your side. So just make sure that when let's say you're in your power position, you're not wide open. Because I like to think about it as a bow and arrow. If you've got a bow and arrow, and we'll relate this bow and arrow when it's fully drawn to this right here. So this, I have the biggest stretch I can possibly get. You're right here, then I can come. If I go like this, it's like going like this with a bow and arrow before you throw. It's just taking the stretch and undoing it. So you just want to make sure that this just stays in line with this, and it's really the shoulder, so you don't want to undo that shoulder and put it right here, because then the stretch just releases. So kind of whatever you want to think about. I like to think about the bow and arrow. Like this. Everything's going to be about 6 to 8 reps. The next one is just overhead forward. So right here, right there, and then you can vary it up doing, right there. Everything on those two, trying to hit a block, stay behind. Overhead side, so that's just a variation. So you're right here, and then on that, and for all these two, go lighter than heavier. You know, don't hurt yourself or anything like that. Unless it's on the ground where you're gonna be into this, then try and work your abs. But then on this one, just right here, right there, that's it. The next one is just back for height and distance. So the first one is just height. So you're just gonna get somewhere you can throw it straight up and just boom, right there. And just be explosive, you know, take the time in between. You don't want to use it as like a cardio workout. It's just boom, you're hitting every one. Take a minute in between or so, and just as fast as you can go, as high as you can go, and wait. And then the next one is just back for distance. So I would definitely highly recommend measuring the backwards distance, because it's a way that you can see improvement. You know, are we peaking for state? Well, I'm 2 feet ahead. I'm definitely ready for a big gain. Or I'm heavy on the weights. It's middle of the season. I'm down 3 feet. It's a way that you can really keep track and know where you're going. So the other one would just be off a toe board or something. You're throwing back. It's a great tester. So physio throw ball, physio ball. You're just be on like a half ball or a physio ball if you have those. Sit on them, go back and throw. Or if you have like a one arm, just like that. And the good one for the one arm is just have somebody throw you like a 1K or a 800 gram ball. Let it just take you back like that and throw. The shoulder ones, just good for rehab. Just get up against the wall and just boom, boom, boom like that. And then you can also do, so take a ball, lighter than heavier again, and just go around like this. Go up, go over kind of variation. The jump ones, so it's just here to there. And then you can also add another, like a plyo one jump, and jump again. The ground twist one, so it's, I'm sitting on the ground, I'm throwing to a partner like that. Then you can do another one where you're sitting on the ground and they're throwing to you all over. So this, just good abs, and you need really strong abs. The Zelezny ones, I really like these ones. So some people call them different stuff, but this really gets the quick hip going. So find a wall, I have my med ball right here, and definitely go lighter on these. And you start here and just go right there. And it's, you know, everything, if it's right here on the plane, you don't want to go here or there. It's just right here, boom, right there. Then the underhand forward is a really good tester too. So right here, forward, so jumping out. And then also, boom, those are the 3 testers. This way, this way, this way.
For the side legs, do you want to switch both sides, or just focus on them out, like the actual?
I would go both sides, you know, for sure. On these ones? Yeah, go both sides, but there is a lot of information. So if you have any questions, just ask. So the standing long jump, that's just from here, boom, out into the sand. Really good, you know, for creating those explosions. Standing triple jump, you're just going to be on there, boom, 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 into the sand. The next one is just single leg jumps. You can just do that where it's either like, just like that, or the other one you can do is it just repeats. So, you know, it's, you know, boom, 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 like that, just down the field. So I do like 5 to 10 repeats, and just, you know, high knee. You got to get that foot turning over. It's not just like that. Try to be going. If they can't do it, stick to double leg. I mean, don't push them to do something that they really can't do. Bounding. So this is just going to be like running and just boom, boom, boom. Just getting out. So you're really trying to just teach yourself to be light on the runway. You know, effortless, working really effortlessly. You don't want to. So I was thinking last night, I was thinking that the good people make it look so effortless. You know, and I think one of the reasons is when you're when they're moving fast, they've done so much stuff to their legs are moving, but then their upper body can be so relaxed. And you're having to really try with your lower body. You're working. Your upper body just gets tight. And you can't just be, can't just be loose and just let this run away. So you want to just be as loose as you can with this upper body and just let this kind of run away. So that's what I think is just, letting this be the engine. Box jumps are a great one, whether it's standing or walking into it. I really like the triple box jump, so it's like a medium, a low, a high, so it's boom, jump up, wait, jump down, and boom, go. Jump up. That's another really good one. But I vary that up too, so I go singles when it comes more to the season, so you're just going up, coming down. Short hurdle hops, like Bowler was doing, I think those are good. Just be careful with the kids, because the hurdles you could, catch your foot. Rope pulls. So this is really important. I think this is definitely something you all should add in if you don't have it. So if you have a rope, a hose, something, put like a 10-pound weight on the back, 20-pound, something that they can really pull, and it slides across the track. So you're back like this, it's on your track, and you're just pulling it. No short arm, nothing like that. It's something that teaches your legs. And one thing to watch for positions. Make sure all the basic positions are there. You're closed, your arm is up, and you've got, still turn your wrist and everything, because there's going to be tendencies to, if there's the weights on there to, dive down. You need to keep that, my body's here, get that little bit of layback. So right there, and then run with that hose back. Because when you get that jab, it's going to feel like nothing. It's going to be easy. So just run. That's when it's like, I would just highly recommend doing if you can. So jump squats are another great one. So I injured my back, and this isn't because of this at all. So I had to kind of like compromise different stuff. So I was pretty strong in high school. I could do squats, do all this stuff. I could do a whole lot of stuff. Then I injured my meniscus in my back and my knee. I added jump squats in, and I was still just as explosive. So jump squats but still keep squats. They're both really good. Jump squats are, you have dumbbells in each hand, and you're just going as high as you can, just over and over. I would recommend, starting this time of season, 8 reps. You get up to competition season, 3 or 4. And even when it comes to season, like when the peak, state, I would say drop down to 2 or 3 really light. So you're just like, this is nothing. I'm just flying through the roof. So those, though, I think are a great kind of mesh between the squats, lunges, these. They just get the big muscles firing really fast, getting you explosive. So, and another one I'd just say is the ankle weights. Just putting those on there and getting all these muscles really moving. And sometimes you take them off and go, wow, now I can feel what those positions were. I can feel the distance I'm traveling. Because some kids will kind of be, I can't feel anything, I can't do it. And you put the ankle weights on, and you're starting to travel, you're starting to feel your legs. So really, I think hurdles are important for javelin. Imperative kind of, because it just gets your hips working. It teaches you to have that kind of quick boom. And that's the javelin is right here. So the first one I like is you're just walking over it like this, and you can just put 6 or 8 hurdles, do it 3 times. And it's great too, because like on your off day or something, hey, let's do some hurdles, get everything working. It's a great workout, build up a sweat, flexibility. The next one is just on the sides here, it's going to be going like this. And you do that both ways. I did like once or twice. It's kind of at your discretion of how much they can handle. So let's see, the next one is just going to be over. You guys have probably heard a lot of these, but and then you go under like that. The other one, this one I really like, it's just, you're on the side and you're just like, going like that. It really gets your hammies and just teaches you to start firing really fast. The running hurdles, I would kind of see how the progression goes. And also if you have like a little miniature orange ones just to kind of get that like the kind of quick feet bouncing. I think that's fine. You don't have to run hurdles like this size if you don't want. It's more about the rhythm and the tempo. Let's see, shorter sprints. So this time of year, because state is like in June, I think. Maybe hundreds would be good right now, you know, and then work down to 40. So that distance, and when I was doing it, the farthest I ever ran was 200s. So I'd be doing 200s in the fall, and we'd probably do 6 or 8 of them. But the shortest we'd ever get was about 40 meters, 30 to 40 meters. So I'd say right now, no 200s, definitely. But you know, you could be doing some hundreds for building up that base, and once you get into the season, maybe some quick 30s or 40s. Running with the javelin is just something, and I would say an everyday event. So before you start your day or after your warm up, grab the jav, run down the field, do some drawbacks, stuff like that. Do, you know, kind of crossovers, start with it, like crossovers like this. Just anything to where you're feeling the jab, you're getting more comfortable is going to be a word I think that's going to be really important for especially high school kids, where when they grab the jab, it's not a foreign object to them. They go, you know, what do I do? They grab, they go, oh, this feels perfectly fine. I know exactly what I'm doing. I pull it back, it's right here. I'm doing my crossover. So the more they can have it in their hand, the more it's going to become supernatural. And so I think every day you should at least be running with the jab, doing some kind of drills where the jab is in their hand. So, you know, pullbacks on a line, you know, blocking drills like this, sand jumps, all the stuff I showed before. So just make sure that's definitely incorporated.